You never forget the first time a scared stray cat decides to trust you. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens one blink, one cautious step, one quiet heartbeat at a time. This is the story of a terrified little cat who had spent her entire life surviving the streets, until one day something changed. For the first time ever, she stepped inside a house. And what happened next will completely change how you see fear, love, and trust. The cat no one could touch. She was known in the neighborhood as the Shadow, a small frail figure that appeared only when the world went quiet, at dawn or midnight. Her fur was matted, her eyes wide, and her every move spoke of a life spent running. People left out scraps of food, but no one could ever get close. If you even looked her way, she'd vanish behind a fence, under a car, or into the darkness of an alley. She wasn't mean. She wasn't wild by choice. She was scared, deeply, painfully scared, the kind of fear that only a cat who's been hurt before could understand. The first contact. Then came Sarah, an ordinary woman with an extraordinary heart for animals. Every evening she'd place a bowl of warm food outside her door, not forcing anything, not calling out, just waiting. At first, the cat didn't come. Days turned to weeks. The bowl remained untouched some nights, but Sarah kept going. She'd sit quietly on her porch, reading or just humming softly. Slowly, the cat began to appear again, always from a distance, always watching. And then one night, the impossible happened. As the moonlight hit the porch, Sarah heard the faintest sound, soft paws on wood. The cat had crept closer, step by trembling step, her tail low, body tense. Sarah didn't move. She didn't even breathe loudly. She just whispered, "It's okay, sweetheart. You're safe here." The long road to trust for weeks. That was their ritual. The cat would come closer, eat, then disappear again. Sometimes she wouldn't come for days, as if her courage ran out and needed time to refill. But trust is like that. It doesn't arrive in a single day. It's built layer by fragile layer. Sarah learned to speak her language. Slow blinks, soft tones, no direct eye contact. She left the door open sometimes, just a crack, enough for the scent of home to drift out. The smell of warmth, of safety, of something this little cat had never known. The day everything changed. It was a cold morning, the kind that makes even the strongest stray search for shelter. Sarah opened the door as usual, set down a bowl, and turned away, giving space, giving choice. But when she looked back, the cat wasn't by the bowl. She was standing at the door. One paw hovered over the threshold, trembling, unsure. It was as if an invisible line had been drawn between two worlds, the only one she'd ever known, and the one that could change her life forever. Sarah didn't say a word. She just sat down on the floor a few feet away and waited. The first step inside. That one step meant everything. For most people, it was just a cat entering a house, but for her, it was a declaration. I want to try again. I want to believe that not every door leads to pain. She sniffed every corner, her tiny paws pressing against the soft carpet. Her reflection in the mirror startled her. The ticking clock made her flinch. Every sound was new, every scent foreign, but she didn't run. Sarah spoke softly, her voice steady and kind. "You're home, baby." The cat paused, eyes wide, tail flicking uncertainly. Then she did something Sarah would never forget. She purred, a trembling, rusty sound, like an old engine coming back to life after years of silence. The days after, the first few days weren't easy. She'd hide under the couch whenever Sarah entered the room. The sound of the TV, the rustle of a bag, even footsteps made her jump. But little by little she began to explore. She found the sunny spot by the window, the soft blanket that smelled like lavender, the toy mouse that jingled just enough to spark curiosity. Sarah named her Hope, because that's what she represented, the belief that even the most broken spirits can learn to trust again. Every morning, Hope got a little braver. She started greeting Sarah at the door, meowing softly. She let Sarah's hand get close enough to touch her fur. And one magical evening, she climbed onto Sarah's lap, curled up and fell asleep. For the first time in her life, she slept without fear.